everybody, and welcome to the Thomas Winfrey Show.
Hello to everyone, I'm Thomas Winfrey. Today we're going to be interviewing 5 different parts of the cell that we all know and love. We have the nucleus, the cell membrane, the cytoplasm, the mitochondria, and the endoplasmic reticulum. These are parts of the cell that we all know, but today we'll learn even more than you knew about them. First, we're going to take each part one by one and ask them to tell us special things about them. Then we'll bring them in together and ask them how they work as one and how they are different. The nucleus is first, after this quick commercial break. Welcome back to the Thomas Winfrey Show. Our first interview here is the control center, the main man, the nucleus. Let's hear it for him.
Woo! I love you! I love you! I'm your biggest fan!
How are you today, Mr.
Hello.
Nucleus?
Hello, it's great to be here.
Alright, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions about yourself.
Alright.
So, where are you in the cell?
Well, I'm in the middle of the cell, and I'm filled by nucleoplasm.
Oh my god, I love nucleoplasm!
I love you too. And I am surrounded by the nuclear envelope.
Awesome. So, as the nucleus, what is your function?
Well, most functions of eukaryotic cells are controlled by me. And I hold and protect DNA, and DNA is turned into RNA inside of me, where the RNA moves through the nuclear pores into the cytoplasm.
Ah!
The cytoplasm will be interviewed in a little bit. So what is your role in the survival of the cell?
Other than what I said before, like being the control center of the cell and holding DNA, I am the most prominent structure within a eukaryote.
Great. One last question. I heard something about you having a denser area. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, the denser area that I have is called the nucleolus, which is where DNA is turned into RNA. There are ribosomes in me, which make of protein and RNA that directs protein synthesis in the cytoplasm.
Wow, I didn't know that you were so complex. Thank you for your time, Nucleus.
I love
and I'll
you,
see you at
Nucleus!
the end of the show.
Thank you.
I love
Welcome back. So our second guest of the day is the cell membrane. Let's hear it for him, guys. So how are you today, cell membrane?
Good, Tom. How are you?
Great, thanks for asking. So I'm pretty much going to ask you the same question that I asked the nucleus. So first, where are you in a normal cell?
Well, I'm the cell's outer boundary, so I'm pretty much the entire outside of the animal cell.
Awesome. What's your function?
I am a security guard for the cell. I let things in and out of me, and everything that passes in or out has to go through me. I also allow the cell to get rid of waste and interact with the environment.
Next question. What is your role in the survival of the cell?
I keep everything bad outside of the cell or force it out and move the good things in and out as I please. I also provide the outside structure for an animal cell.
Alright, last question. Can you tell us something about yourself that we didn't already talk about?
Of course I can. I am a semi-permeable, and semi-permeable is another term for saying I am a security guard, because I open and close to different responses of stimuli, like when I stretch.
Alright, thanks for being here.
Thank
Alright,
you.
so you can go wait backstage.
It was a pleasure.
So, we're supposed to go to commercial right now, but Freshman Honors Bio Class 232. If you look under your chairs, you'll find nothing. This isn't a live show. Alright, next we got the cytoplasm. Let's hear it for him, guys. Alright, hello.
Hello.
Alright, so I'm going to ask you the same thing, you know the drill. So, first, where are you in a normal cell?
I am a very big part of the cell because I am a good portion of the cell. I am within the cell membrane. I am the fluid, the cytoskeleton, and all the organelles except for my friend, the nucleus.
What is your function?
My functions are very simple. I protect the cell, and I make and keep the structure of the cell.
What is your role in the survival of the cell?
Like almost every part of the cell, if I wasn't part of the cell, there would ultimately be no organization in the cell, and the cell would never work without me. Like I said before, I also protect the cell and work as a buffer to soften impacts of things on the cell.
Fascinating. One last question. Can you explain to me another important fact about yourself?
Sure. A part of me that contains molecules, small particles, and non-membrane bound organelles is called the cytosol. 20% is made up of protein, and it helps me keep all those little things in check.
Well, Cytoplasm, thank you so much for being here. You can head backstage and wait for all the interviews to be finished.
Okay, thank you.
So as we get down to our final 2 interviews, let's go to commercial break as we wait for the mitochondria to be interviewed next on the Thomas Winfrey Show. Welcome back to the Thomas Winfrey Show, where we have the cytoskeleton sitting with us currently. So you know the drill. Where are you in the cell?
In a quick summary, I am all around the cell.
Okay, what is your function as the cytoskeleton of the cell?
I give shape to the inside of the cell. I also act as a system of internal tracks on which items move around inside the cell.
What is your role to the survival of the cell?
Other than my functions that keep the cell alive, the internal movement of cell organelles, as well as cell movement, could not take place without me.
Final question. Can you explain to us what the flagella and cilia are and what they do to help you?
I'm friends with all the flagella and cilia in the cells, so I know exactly who they are. They are both hair-like structures, cilia being short and present in large numbers, and flagella being long and present in small numbers. They both travel inside the cell where I am, and they assist the cell with movement.
Thanks to the cytoskeleton for being here. You can head backstage, and when we're finished interviewing the AR, we'll send you back here. So now for the last interview of the night, the endoplasmic reticulum.
Woo!
Sign my forehead!
I love you, man!
After hearing the same questions over and over from all the other parts of the cell, we're going to do the exact same thing. Where are you in the cell?
I'm in the cytoplasm, and depending on how much the cell fluctuates, the more of me is in the cell.
What is your function?
Well, I have 2 parts, the rough ER and the smooth ER. The rough ER is covered with ribosomes, which make and send out proteins. These ribosomes are then exported from the cell or inserted in the cell membrane. The smooth ER has no ribosomes and builds lipids. It also detoxifies alcohol, other drugs, and poisons. But overall, I function as a highway for molecules.
What is your role in the survival of the cell?
Without the rough ER, there would be less phospholipids and proteins for the cell, and without the smooth ER, there would be less lipids for the cell. Overall, without me, molecules would have a tough time getting where they needed to be, and the cell would not survive.
Alright, thanks for being here. Now it is time to bring all our guests back and do a little comparison. Now it is time to do a little rapid fire round because we are running out of time. We're going in the same order we did for the interviews, and we're going to ask them to compare and contrast themselves to the other 4. Let's start with the nucleus right now. Nucleus! So how do you compare to the other 4 parts of the cell?
Well, I'm going to say this for all 5 of us because I'm the nucleus. Even though most of us are not similar in any ways, it doesn't mean we are more important than each other. But I'm the nucleus, so I'm the best. We all work together to keep the body alive and work with other cells to form tissues, organs, and organ systems. We all help each other out, and some of us have pores like me, and we always have each other's backs. But I'm the leader.
That was beautiful, I think. How are you different?
I'm the only part of the five that stores DNA, has chromosomes when the cell divides, and I'm the only one with a lot of swag. I also have nucleoplasm, which is very similar to the cytoplasm, with which all the other parts are in. And one more difference is that I'm the only one that turns DNA into RNA. How about that for an end?
Okay, next the cell membrane.
You're gonna give me some of that.
How are you similar and different to other parts of the cell?
Well, I'm very special because there is no other part of the cell like me. I'm a fluid mosaic model, meaning an active lipid. I'm the only security guard of the cell, but I'm amazing at watching the borders. And I allow the cell to excrete waste and interact with its environment. I am also a phospholipid bilayer, meaning I have a double membrane. And even though other parts of the cell might have it, it's still really cool to have it.
Cytoplasm. Compare and contrast yourself to the other parts of the cell.
I am similar to the nucleoplasm in the nucleus, but I am way bigger. I am different because I am pretty much everything in the cell, but the cell membrane and nucleus. I am the fluid and all the organelles except the nucleus, so I'm pretty much his right-hand man. That speaks for himself.
Cytoskeleton, what are your differences?
I provide shape for the entire cell. The nuclear matrix does the same thing for my nucleus, so we are pretty much the same. Inside of me are hollow tubes called microtubules, bead-like proteins called microfilaments, rods that anchor the nucleus called intermediate filaments, cilia and flagella, and two short cylinders of microtubules called centrioles.
I am awesome because there's no one like me. I'm the highway for molecules. My parts make and send out proteins while also detoxifying alcohol and poisons, while also making cholesterol. So I'm really one of a kind, unless the cell changes a lot, and then there's a lot of it.
Well, that's the end of our show. I hope you guys in the classroom got a couple laughs and learned a few things. I'm Thomas Winfrey, saying have a great night.